I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Bryan City Council for Monday, November 2nd, 2015. Just want to say that our mayor is in the hospital at this time, so he will not be here. I would like to start out with the approval of minutes, number 1, for the October meeting, October 19th meeting.
I did not see any issues with the minutes, so I move that we approve.
I'll second it.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes. Number 2 on the agenda is the hearing of public concerns. Is there anyone who would like to address this council at this time? Seeing none, we'll move on then to item number 3 on the agenda. An ordinance, please number and read.
Ordinance number 36, 2015. An ordinance to amend Chapter 181 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bryan, Ohio regarding municipal income tax.
Now, Rhonda, would you like to address this at this time?
Yes, I'd like to start. Just to give some background and information first, just for the public's information, as you may or may not know, Bryan is a chartered home rule municipality under Article 18 of the Ohio Constitution. So what that means is, except we're preempted, we can pass and enforce our own laws. And when I say preempted, that means except where the state of Ohio says, steps in and tells us how we are going to run certain areas of law, and that in those areas the state is going to control. With regard to tax laws and collection of municipal income tax, the state has enacted legislation that now preempts our current local tax laws. The legislature has passed House Bill 5 in 2015, which requires each local public entity that collects income tax to adopt the new tax code by January 1st of 2016. Our current tax code is 8 pages long. Our new tax code is 57 pages long. These laws, thank you, this law basically has been imposed upon us by the state. 99% of it, we have had no choice. So if you have an issue with it, do not blame Lori Rohde or her staff. Do not call the mayor. Your legislature has passed this code, and we are bound to pass it here locally. You're going to be seeing, and we're going to be advising the public over and over as we're talking, and probably throughout the next year, please consult your accountant or tax preparer if you have questions, because there are going to be several changes, and hopefully they will be advised and be up to speed. Please don't expect, not that they can't answer some questions, but please don't expect the clerk treasurer's office to answer all of your tax questions. You need to be consulting with your tax preparer or accountant. And so that you will understand some of the major changes that are coming for us in 2016, I'm going to turn it over to Lori Rohde to discuss some of those changes.
Thanks, Rhonda. The bill that was passed includes a lot of income tax changes over a long period of time. In fact, it won't finally be enacted until 2022 when the final changes roll through. So I'm going to start at the beginning and walk through each year basically till we get to that point and see what we can cover and what you will understand out of the 57 pages as the main points of the bill. In withholding, our monthly withholding payments are going to be due on the 15th of the following month. In the previous calendar year, if your withholding payments exceed $2,399 or if the total in any one month in the preceding calendar quarter exceeds $200, you will file your withholding payments monthly. Quarterly payments are also due on the 15th of the month following the end of the quarter. Non-payment penalties for failure to remit your withholding tax on or before the 15th of the month following the withholding period will result in a one-time 50% penalty per occurrence. Late non-filing penalties for the tax year 2016 and beyond will result in a $25 per month fee up to a maximum of $150. Interest will also be calculated for tax year 2016 and beyond based on an annual rate based on the Federal Reserve rate for the prior year plus 5% to be administered monthly. My top advice to any business that has not used it would be to consult with the Ohio Business Gateway. If you're using the Ohio Business Gateway, the effective date of the transaction will determine the receipt date and be used to determine if penalty and/or interest will be applied. The withholding reconciliation is due by the last date of February for the prior year, which is a current rule as it stands. Another withholding note of interest has to deal with occasional entrance. Currently, we have what we call the 12-day rule. If a non-resident employer does not have to withhold, currently does not have to withhold until the 12th day that a person has been in the city of Bryan. However, currently it's retroactive to day one that they entered the city and worked. Under the new guidelines, a non-resident employer does not have to withhold until the 21st day worked in the city based on the preponderance of a day. And unfortunately, we can't go back to day one on that. And you can, again, thank your tax administrators in the state of Ohio. Again, we'll advise, if you use a payroll or accounting service, it's very important that you notify them of these changes. The second major change for tax year 2016 is with regard to estimates. If your employer does not withhold City of Bryan income tax, you must make estimates using a schedule to avoid an underpayment of estimated tax penalty if the estimated tax is at least $200 for the year. By April 15th, you have to file 22.5%. By June 15th, 45%. By September 15th, 67.5%. And by December 15th, 90% of your estimated tax. Failure to have 90% of the estimated tax paid via prior year credits and/or your estimate payments will result in a one-time penalty of 15% of the amount not timely paid. This penalty will be applied to each quarter. You could avoid paying this penalty by having 100% of your 2016 Bryan tax liability paid by April 15th, or the federally declared due date for income taxes. Interest for the tax year 2016 and beyond will again be calculated based on the Federal Reserve rate for the prior year, plus 5%. There are other important changes that are to come, but one that I really want to point out that has not changed is that the City of Bryan has mandatory filing. What that means is all residents of the City of Bryan are required to file taxes. In tax year 2016, payable in 2017, there will be no need to remit tax if it's under $10. Also in that same year, tax year 2016, payable in 17, refunds will not be issued for overpayments greater than $10. Yearly tax returns will also will be charged the $25 late fee for 2016 and beyond for a maximum up to $150. And the same thing for a one-time non-payment penalty of 15% that will be applied for tax year 2016 and beyond for tax liability not paid. Interest on tax years, again, will be based on the Federal Reserve rate plus 5. In tax year 2017, filed in 2018, there are two major changes. The first has to deal with net operating losses. They will now be allowed to be carried forward over 5 years. However, because in the City of Bryan we have not allowed NOL carry forward, net operating loss carry forward, This will be phased in over a 5-year period, meaning that taxpayers may only claim 50% of their available net operating loss carry forward during tax years 2018 to 2022. After that time, 100% of their NOL can be applied. That is a major change to the city of Bryan, and we will see a major reduction in tax revenues because of that one piece of legislation. As an offset to that, the city of Bryan will be addressing reciprocity, which means that the credit amount allowed for city of Bryan residents who work outside the city will be capped at 1%. What that would entail is if the city of Bryan's income tax rate is currently 1.8%, and again, if a resident works outside the city, we will only allow 1% of the local income tax that they pay to their employer to be credited for the city of Bryan. And that's another significant change to the city. However, it won't bring in as significant of dollars as the net operating loss carry forward is going to take out. This bill is 57 pages long. It is lengthy. It will be on our website, as will our current tax ordinance, because we are still operating under our current tax rules. That's why we are saying that we're amending the tax laws. We're not repealing any tax laws, because our current tax laws are in place. But as I've said, this will take effect over the next 6-year period, tax year period, and it is quite lengthy. And again, any issues that you have, questions and concerns, of course you can contact our tax department, but I would recommend strongly talking to your accounting service, your payroll department. Businesses need to be aware of this. We don't want to hit people with these penalties and interest, but it is now in our tax code, and it is going to be enforced through any village, municipality, local government level that has an income tax in the state of Ohio. It's not going to be unique to Bryan. That's it, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Again, just
Okay.
a couple comments, I know we've talked about this and the length and things like that, and it's not a very good deal for the public and for the municipalities as well. So again, encourage you to talk to your accountant, CPA, but again, I want to remind you, CPAs, accountants are the ones that pushed this bill through. They put in thousands, hundred thousands of dollars in this bill to get it through. So again, that's where it's coming from. These penalties we talked about, or Lori talked about, and Rhonda talked about in regards to if your taxes are due on this date, the 15th, okay? They are due on the 15th. They're not due on the 16th. They're due on the 15th. If we do not receive them in our office by the 15th of that day, and we receive them on the 16th or the 17th, whatever the case may be, you will be fined, not fined, but you will be charged a penalty of up to 50%. So if for some reason somebody owes $10,000 on the 15th, that now becomes $15,000 on the 16th, okay?
For withholding.
Is that correct?
Make that clear, that's for withholding.
Yeah, withholding, okay? So again, it's critical. So I think that, again, as Rhonda indicated and Lori, is that, they're very knowledgeable of what's going on here, trying to get up to speed with this thing. But again, Lori, just, again, hold up the little pamphlet you had there, right there.
what we currently
That's
operate
the
with.
current tax thing.
This is
And
what we're
there's
going to
the other
operate
one,
with.
57 pages long, So, I mean,
Postmark dates will be very important too. I mean, get it postmarked by the 15th if you're getting it in.
so again, we even talked about maybe doing something, maybe extended that period or whatever it is. But this is the law.
Yeah, we're locked in.
So there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
So
We will be
I'm sorry?
And we get audited, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So again, you can talk to Mr. Height and anybody else, but they're the ones that passed this thing, and it's causing some issues for us anyhow. So anyhow, that's all I have to say in regards to that.
Anybody else there? Is there anyone out there that wants to address this? Mike?
Is this paid through Gateway or directly to you?
The income tax? Well, Ohio Business Gateway is just a method that they can use to direct deposit into our bank through the state of Ohio Business Gateway. I won't say most, a number of people use Ohio Business Gateway just because it's sometimes a simpler filing tool for people, but we still get, of course, a number of checks. And we have business owners and people running their checks up to us now to make it in on time. I think that will get even stronger once they realize what these penalties are.
I've always done it through Gateway.
It's a pretty useful tool. We like to see it through Gateway. It hits our bank, and we can see when you filed it and immediately have it hit our bank.
I think further explanation on that, reciprocal, if you worked in a community where you were being, they were paying 1.8%, deducting that from your pay, Bryan gave you credit for all of that, you didn't pay any in Bryan, now you will get only a 1% credit towards that, and then you will know an additional 0.8% in Bryan. So I think that's one of the more significant parts for the taxpayer. It's going to be a little more money.
It is, and it'll depend on where you work. I mean, if you work in an entity that only withholds 1%, you're currently paying 0.8 into the city of Bryan. It'll be no change for that person. If you work for a village that withholds 1.5%, right now you're paying 0.3% into the city of Bryan. In the future, it'll be 0.8. So it really depends on where you work outside the city and what their tax rates are. We would only allow a 1% cap, a credit on capping it.
And that's not effective until,
Tax year 2017 paid in 18. And again, that coincides with the NOL carry forward, and that's, I think, what council is trying to do is to offset some of that NOL carry forward, that we're going to see a loss in tax revenues with a slight increase in revenues from reducing the reciprocity credit amount.
Okay.
Good, thanks, ladies, good job, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So at this time, we'll entertain a motion to,
Does that need to go through? No reason to it.
no reason to do that. It's just the amend of, I didn't know if I had to
Make a motion to suspend the rules, then. That's what I'll do.
I'll second.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
McCoopie?
Yes. Make a motion to pass. Second.
Tommy?
Yes.
McCoopie?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yeah.
Keith?
Yes. Motion passed. Is there a paper that?
Yes, there is. It's a book.
Leave that for the mayor. Okay, item number 4 on the agenda is another ordinance, so please number and read.
Ordinance number 37, 2015, an ordinance providing for the transfer of funds for the city of Bryan for the month ending November 30th, 2015. This is a transfer of $550,000 from the 1% income tax fund to the 101 general fund for general spending purposes. A transfer of $50,000 from the 1% income tax fund to the 203 street department fund for general spending purposes. And a transfer of $500,000 from the 0.5% income tax fund to the 401 capital improvement for projects. Total amount of transfer requested, $1,100,000.
I'll make a motion to suspend.
Second.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Motion to pass.
I'll second it.
Tommy?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Item number 5 on the agenda is another ordinance. Please number and read.
Ordinance number 38, 2015, An ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into contracts on behalf of the Bryan Fire Department for mutual aid or fire protection services for 2016 to various and specific county entities, Center Township, Pulaski Township, and Jefferson Township.
Okay, Chief Siders?
Good evening, gentlemen. You have before you the contracts for the 3 townships that we protect, plus the contract for the county properties for 2016. Nothing has changed in regards to the verbiage of the contracts other than the amounts. There was a 1% increase in all of the contracts for next year. I'd ask that you would suspend the rules and pass this ordinance tonight so that we can keep moving forward and have this done before the end of the year so Lori can start invoicing beginning January 1st.
I move that we suspend.
I'll second it.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Motion to pass.
Second.
Tommy?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Item number 6 on the agenda is another ordinance. Please number and read.
Ordinance number 39, 2015. An ordinance authorizing the clerk treasurer to issue change order number 1 and final for the project known as 2015 Pavement Marking Program.
Good evening. This is basically a deduct. For the most part, we non-performed a lot of the parking lot striping. I didn't like his price on that. I thought it was a little excessive, so we just did what we had to do and got by without. So I'm asking that we deduct the contract by approximately $13,500. With that, I'd request you suspend the rules, and that way we can get this closed out.
What about the parking lots? When-
We did the ones that were necessary, and we'll rebid it again next year.
Okay. I'll make a motion to suspend.
I'll second.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Motion to pass.
Second.
Tommy?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes. Number 7 on the agenda is another ordinance. Please number and read.
Ordinance number 40, 2015. An ordinance authorizing the clerk treasurer to issue change order number 1 and final for the project known as 2015 Asphalt Program.
Similar situation, about $11,700 deduct, which is about 5% of the overall construction cost. If you look at the details on there, the biggest amount was a certain number of manholes that didn't need to be adjusted to grade. It's just a guess when we go through on when they mill and repave if the asphalt's going to, get up close or not, and we didn't need as many. So with that, I would request the same thing, that you suspend the rules and approve, and we'll close this out.
I'll move that we suspend.
Second.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Dick Reed?
Yes. Motion to pass.
Second.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes. Number 8 on the agenda is a resolution. Please number and read.
Resolution number 20, 2015. A resolution approving the Community Reinvestment Area Tax Exemption Application as submitted by A-Stamp Enterprises, LLC.
A-Stamp's doing approximately a $498,000 improvement, and with that, they qualify for tax exemption for a certain number of years on that project. Once you guys approve this and construction is complete, we verify the improvements were made and then pass it on to the auditor for filing. So with that, I would request you approve their community reinvestment area tax exemption.
Any questions, gentlemen?
I'll make a motion to suspend.
Second.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Motion to pass.
Second.
Dick Reed?
Yes.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes. Number 9 on the agenda is a building permit. Mr. Whelan?
Spangler Candy Company is doing approximately 1,600 square foot of office renovations with a construction cost of about $140,000. We've had our meetings in-house here, and I believe we have a partial permit through the state right now. So with that, I request you approve.
This is an existing space that they're just,
Yeah, it says renovations, not addition, so it's all inside.
okay. I move that we approve.
Second.
Rick Hoopie?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
Rick Reed?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Okay. Okay. This brings us to the end of our regular session. We will be going into executive session for the acquisition of property after a brief recess. Meantime, Chief Siders, do you have anything further to say?
No, sir, thank you.
Bryan?
No, sir.
No? Tyson?
No, sir.
Chief Willis?
No, sir.
Ben? Okay. Tommy?
Yeah, I have, this is something I want to bring up here. Saturday, the Park and Rec had their annual Halloween party, I guess you would say, out at the ice rink. And I think that Ben and his crew, especially Cindy, does an outstanding job on that. I was out there, and I don't know, I think the paper said something like maybe 100 or something like that, but I thought it was a lot higher than that because like the first half hour, I think the fire department gave out, I think somebody said like 250 bags and pencils and things like that, and then there was more after that, plus the adults, things like that. So it was pretty well packed out there, and you know, with that, I have a list of Halloween donors, and there's a list of, you know, like 36 donors that helped with that, whether it's with the buns or hot dogs or drinks or whatever the case may be, candy and all that. So again, I think it just shows that Bryan, you know, takes care of itself around here. And then not only that, but I know, again, Parks done a great job of setting that up, getting ready for it. The Boy Scouts, I think on Friday night, spent the night there to walk around and oversee, make sure, you know, there's no damage done during the night. I know the Linus, they had took care of the hot dogs, the Kiwanis took care of the popcorn, and then Fort County Enforcement Law class, they was out there done the parking, and of course the police and fire department was out there assisting as well. And then the games themselves were by the National Honor Society at the school, which we really appreciate that. And then Joe and then John Moats from the Lions Club was there as well. And of course, then the Boy Scouts Troop 1222. And then Tasha Carnes and Caitlin Kelly also assisted out there and done a great job. But again, they had hay rides out there, they had games for the kids. It was just really fun to see all the kids out there dressed up and things like that. And it's just another asset that, you know, this city brings.
Yeah, my wife's sorority was out there too.
Yeah, were they? Okay. What sorority was it, Keith? What is it? Well, if you want to know, call Trudy.
They help us with the decorating.
Is that what they done?
Yeah, they usually decorate the front
Okay.
area.
Yeah, very well, very nice job, and so again, thanks to everybody, the donors and the workers and everybody to make that thing possible. And as far as I know, both chiefs, no issues over the weekend for a holiday, you know? Okay, so, good. Thanks to everybody, that's all I have.
Okay.
I just want to say tomorrow is a big day for a lot of people, and I encourage everyone to get out and vote, and good luck to all of the candidates.
Same thing. Be sure to vote tomorrow. And don't vote for me.
Right in. Okay. Lori?
No, sir, I guess one thing, I would just advise all the businesses and people who file estimates to be watching your mail for any income tax letters coming through. The first sending them to you, we're putting notices out there, so trying to alert people to it, but it is the law, it's Ohio Revised Code, it's our tax law now, it's online, it's lengthy reading at best, but we will try to summarize it and get letters out to people so that we don't have any issues or can try to minimize the ones that we do have.
Okay. Rhonda?
I'll say get well, Mayor Johnson, we know you're watching.
Yes. We miss him. We miss him. I just want to commend the police department on doing a good job with the Saturday. They were out and about, and I saw the police going by our house many times, and we really is important. We don't want anybody hit. You read in the papers about various places where children have been hit, and the sight of the police really does help, and we appreciate their efforts. So you must have had extra patrol out.
Yeah, we had a couple more.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Okay, so that's it for me. If there's nothing further, then we'll take a short recess and then go into executive session. Thank you.
Thank you.